Welcome back to Coffeesodes, everybody. Episode 40 already. Wow. If you want to know more about what we're talking about today, you can check out the episode description. But we're going deep today, like really deep.
I'm excited.
Me too. I'm Josh. And we're diving into consciousness and the universe itself, all from this research paper.
I'm Kelly. Let's get to it.
So this paper is by Nezarine Amori. And it talks about the outconscious. Like, okay, we all know about the conscious mind, right? And the subconscious. But this is like another level, even deeper. This outconscious, it's interacting with the universe.
And it's not just like taking stuff in, it's sending things out, like our intentions. It really changes how we think about consciousness, you know? Like it's not just inside us.
Whoa, so how does that even work? This intention transmission. Is this where we get into all the quantum physics stuff?
It does get a little complex, but basically, Amori says that our intentions are encoded in these tiny particles called neutrinos and bosons.
Hold on. So our thoughts, what we want to happen, it's riding on these tiny particles and going out into the universe.
Yeah, kind of a wild idea. And then she gets into the weak interaction, which is one of the 4 fundamental forces of physics, and how that all plays into it.
Okay, slow down for a sec. So is she saying our thoughts can, like, physically change things, like have weight?
Not weight, exactly, no. But the idea is that these particles, carrying our intentions, interact with matter on a subatomic level.
My mind is kind of blown right now. Are you telling me that my thoughts are actually shaping the world?
It's a pretty radical idea, right? But this is where all those concepts, like, you know, the law of attraction and manifesting, this is where they might actually come from. This could be the science behind it.
Okay, but how much evidence is there for this? Is this like widely accepted or is this just one paper?
It's definitely pushing the boundaries of science as we know it. More research is definitely needed.
That makes sense. But even if it's just a possibility, it's huge, right? It makes you think about what you're focusing on.
Oh, absolutely. If our intentions have this kind of power, we got to pay attention to them.
This makes me think of those times when you have a gut feeling about something. And you're right. Is that the outconscious at work?
What if those gut feelings are actually our outconscious trying to tell us something?
So we've talked about the outconscious, sending out intentions, and the quantum world. But this paper goes even deeper, right? I remember something about dark matter and a whole particle.
Yeah, so Amori connects the outconscious to these big cosmological mysteries, like dark matter and the whole particle. That's what she thinks might make up dark matter. And it gets even wilder. She thinks these whole particles can actually stop things from happening.
Wait, stop time? Like a black hole?
Well, her theory is that black holes could be made of a ton of these whole particles, and that might be why time doesn't work the same way there.
Okay, that is mind-blowing. But how does this connect to us, to consciousness? How does it tie back to the universe responding to our intentions?
That is where it gets really interesting, and maybe a little scary. What if this stopping things ability is how the universe responds to us? Like a counterforce.
Whoa. Is the universe trying to stop us from getting what we want?
Maybe not stop us, but more like maintain a balance.
So it's more like there's a natural order to things.
Exactly. Like think of a swimmer. The water doesn't stop them, but it shapes how they move.
I like that analogy. So the universe is shaping us too. But this brings up the whole question of free will, right?
Yeah.
If it's pushing back, how much control do we actually have?
That's a huge question. And we'll dive into that more as we go deeper into Amori's research.
We will be right back to discuss more of this amazing research in just a minute.
Welcome back. So where were we? Oh yeah, the outconscious, this deeper level of awareness, not just processing stuff, but sending out our intentions to the universe.
And those intentions, they're hitching a ride on tiny quantum particles and maybe even shaping reality.
Yay.
But the universe isn't just sitting there taking it all in.
Right. It pushes back, a counterforce, trying to keep things balanced, not necessarily stopping us, but more like guiding us.
Like we're in this cosmic dance-off learning the steps. But before we get too carried away, we got to talk about the whole particle. This thing sounds intense.
Oh, it gets weird here, for sure. Remember we were saying it might be part of dark matter, and it can, like, neutralize things, stop them from happening.
So that's how the universe pushes back against our intentions.
It's possible. Think of it like this. You're playing an instrument, right? The whole particle is like the volume knob or maybe adjusting the tone.
So it's not killing the music, just making sure it's harmonious. of the whole universe.
Exactly. That's why some things seem to happen easily for us and others. Total struggle fest.
So when I feel like I'm banging my head against a wall trying to make something happen, maybe that's the whole particle telling me to chill out, rethink things.
Could be. It might be trying to tell us to get in sync with, like, a bigger purpose.
This is making me think of all the times I've tried to force things to go my way. Like I can control everything.
Yeah, we often think we're separate from it all, but this research is saying we're not. We're part of this big cosmic dance.
Less about forcing things, more about understanding the rhythm.
Exactly. Like, we can't control the ocean, but we can learn to surf.
Okay, I love that. But we're back to the free will thing, right?
Mm.
How much choice do we actually have if the universe is always pushing back?
Big questions, right? I don't think it means we don't have free will, but it definitely makes things more complicated.
So maybe it's not a yes or no thing, more like free will meets cosmic fate.
Exactly. It's all about balance. And Maury's research is just giving us a new way to look at how all of this works, you know?
This is a lot to process, but it's also kind of freeing, you know? Like, we don't have to have all the answers. We don't have to control everything.
Totally. Maybe it's about letting go a little, trusting that the universe has our back, even when it feels like it's pushing back.
Okay, so how do we actually do that? How do we get better at this cosmic dance?
Well, Amori doesn't give us, like, a step-by-step guide or anything, but I think it's about paying attention.
Like to our intuition, meditation, trying to sense what the universe is telling us.
Yeah. Learning to listen to that little voice inside and maybe even getting some clues about time travel.
Time travel. Now we're really going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But first, let's take a breath, recap what we've learned so far. We've covered a lot, and it's only going to get wilder from here. Welcome back to Coffeesodes. We've gone deep into consciousness, the universe responding to our intentions. It's wild.
Totally. And now we're going to talk about time travel.
Whenever I hear time travel, I picture, those old movies with flying cars and wormholes. But is that what Emery's talking about?
Not exactly. It's more about the same quantum stuff we've been talking about.
Okay, remind me. How do those tiny particles, the neutrinos and bosons, fit into time travel?
Well, remember, she says those particles carry our intentions out into the universe. What if we could control what information they carry?
Whoa, you're saying we could change the fabric of space-time, like actually bend time.
That's the idea. And Maury thinks time might be more flexible than we realize. And if we can control those particles, we might be able to influence time itself.
So it's not about physically going back in time, it's more about changing how we experience it.
Right. Not a time machine, but more like changing reality itself.
But what about all those paradoxes? Like going back and accidentally stopping yourself from being born?
That's the thing. And Maury thinks those paradoxes might not be glitches, but just part of how reality works. Maybe time isn't just a straight line.
So, like, multiple timelines, different possibilities all happening at once.
Exactly. So changing the past wouldn't erase us. It would just create a new branch of possibilities.
Whoa, that is a lot to process. But if this could work, wouldn't someone have already done it? Wouldn't we see some evidence?
Well, just because we haven't seen it doesn't mean it's not happening. Maybe our science isn't advanced enough to even detect it yet.
True. Like trying to explain the internet to someone with a rotary phone. But even if we could time travel, wouldn't that be, like, ethically messed up?
Oh, absolutely. Huge ethical questions. If we could change the past, even a little, who knows what would happen?
This is intense.
Yeah.
But even if we never figure out time travel, the big takeaway is that everything is connected, right?
Totally. Outconscious, the universe pushing back, even time travel. It all comes back to the idea that we're not separate from the universe, we're part of it.
And it's all happening at the quantum level. It's humbling and inspiring. Every thought, every intention matters.
Yeah, we're all creating reality together.
So if our thoughts are that powerful, what kind of future do we want to make?
That's the question, isn't it? We need to be conscious, intentional. What's the best possible future we can create?
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this wild ride.
My pleasure.
And to all our listeners, keep those coffee cups full, keep those minds curious, and we'll see you next time on Coffeesodes.